Rotimi on not spending any of his power checks. If y'all know Rotimi, he sings, he acts, but he was on Vlad, had an interview on Vlad where he was talking about how he spends his money and what he does with his money. And he said he didn't spend any of his power checks. So I think this is a video we definitely all can get a lot from. And I'm not going to waste much more time. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
What was interesting was you made, your money from Power, and you were on for 6 seasons, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't actually spend any of your Power money until you were done with the show.
Yeah.
Were you investing your money? Were you putting it in the stock market or anything else like that? Or were you just keeping it in cash?
So the best thing that I did was my dad and I came up with a plan. And during the time that I was working with Fifth and I got my deal, literally I started getting bookings and shows and hostings and endorsement deals. So what I had to do was I said, I'm going to save all my bread, all these big checks, and put that up and live off of the music money that I was making.
Did y'all not just hear what he said? So he has 2 forms of income, or more than 2, but he's talking about what he did. And there's some key points in there too, because he wasn't by himself. Like he said, me and my dad came up with a plan. So he had somebody to help guide him along the way, which is a major step up for him through his process, because he didn't have to figure it out on his own. So you can tell that his dad had a very much had something to do with his development when it comes to his financial literacy. But he said it, period, and this is how a lot of people should do. He didn't spend any of his power checks, and he lived strictly off of his music. Strictly off of his music, which is, he lived below his means. That's exactly what he did. He was living below his means. He could have spent all of that money on $1 million houses, on chains, on cars. But instead, he decided to do something that is not really smiled upon in our community. He decided to put away some of that money and do some things with it, instead of just spending it all just because he got this big break. Like I said, he had a lot of guidance along the way, which is one of the big things that I heard when he said it, because he didn't have to figure this thing out by himself.
So it was my rent being paid, my food being paid, everything, lifestyle being paid from how much I was making as an artist. And that basically changed, the trajectory of my life after that, because I had millions of dollars saved up when I was done with these 6 years, but I was able to live. So again, I tell artists, man, don't think of the temporary, bro. Like it's not about the now. Like if you get a big advance, take a piece of that, pay your rent off for the year, and put that up, because that money is not forever. You know what I mean?
You see, he's giving advice this is advice for us all. It is just not for no artists, no people who make a lot of money, all of that. You need to be living below your means with your paychecks, with all this stuff. You need to, pay off your needs. You have rent, you have utilities, you may have car payments. But at the end of the day, when you have a whole bunch of wants, and your wants is expensive cars, expensive clothes, jewelry, you're putting yourself at a deficit. He had 6 seasons of Power that he was putting away, and he was living below his means the whole time. That means anything that y'all see that he had during that time, all coming off his music that he made. This is brilliant thinking brilliant thinking. He set himself so far ahead. Like he said, his trajectory went through the roof. It was going like this, but on the money aspect, you living off of only your music money, your music deals, what you get from doing your music, and you putting up the millions of dollars that you got from Power for 6 seasons. Hey, we all can take from that. We need to start living under our means, making some sacrifices, and putting that money that we have to the side so that it can start doing some compounding on the back end for us and working for us in a totally different way.
So, and I learned that from being in the boss situation before, where it was like, this could end tomorrow. So once I did that, I put like 20% of it into stocks. The first thing that I did with the money that I had, the first thing I did was I bought a house and bought 3 different properties in Atlanta, bought a mansion in Nigeria, and bought my parents a house. So real estate was taking over because I knew that once I get this cashed out, now I have these assets that I don't have to worry about. And if I sell these in 2-3 years, they're going to be worth, hopefully a couple million. So that was my mindset, but it was all about preservation, and then knowing that like all of this is temporary. So if I know that I have 3 possible retirement plans paid off, that in 20-30 years, if I just keep these properties, I can say, oh, let me get my 4 million, let me get my 3 million, let me get my 2.5 and be right back. So that was my mindset, because again, it's not worth all of it.
He's speaking some stuff for real. He's speaking some stuff for real. Because in the long run, this is what I think a lot of people, we just think so here and now that we don't really think about even 2 months ahead. You get a big splash of money, it's gone immediately. Like, what can I do with this money now? And we're not thinking, okay, how can I use this money now to positively impact me in my future? Like he said, he put 20% in the stocks, and then he immediately started thinking about his retirement plans. He bought houses. I know when athletes buy houses, they're purely doing it just to, I bought my mama a house. That's period. That's literally all they doing. Like, I bought my mama a house. Then you go spend all that money on your friends, your family, and everything else in your life. So that stuff definitely does not help you at all, your future. Like he said, you need some dang, it's not perseverance. It's not, you just need to think about your future with a lot of the money purchases that you make today. Let's continue.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the difference when you look at people who understand money and people who don't.
Yeah.
Like, all the money I made from Vlad TV, I invested into the stock market.
Amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
And, Google stock, Amazon stock, Tesla stock, like all those went up.
Yeah.
And then, eventually, like I bought a house a few years ago, I was able to buy it in cash.
Yeah.
And I know what you mean. It's an incredible feeling knowing that this is yours. You have the deed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The bank doesn't have the deed.
No, it's mine.
You have the deed. You just have to pay for the property taxes. And when you said preservation, that's so important, because people who know money and who have money, they're trying to preserve their money and slowly grow it.
Yeah.
When you don't have money, you're trying to flip it.
Yeah.
You're trying to bet it all, which usually ends up in you losing it all.
Absolutely, bro. And
yeah.
That is definitely, I think, one of the big things that I see with people who have money and people who, I ain't gonna lie, they have money, but they don't have money. People who have money but don't have money, y'all, they spend it fast. Like, it's like a fast life. Scammers, drug dealers, athletes, rappers, you can kind of tell, like, they don't really have money like that because they just spend it all so quick and easy. It all looks like fast money. But people who they trying to preserve that money, There you go. There you go. When I see people trying to preserve money and think about the future, they might not even be as technically rich as some of the scammers and athletes, but you know that in the long run, it seems like they're going to be better off than a lot of the rappers and everybody else who they just don't have the financial literacy or the financial want to do any of that. So some people they don't want to do right. So I think that is a big difference. I can't wait until the day that I will be able to have some paid off real estate. I think that would definitely be a big thing for me. Like, dang, I got paid off real estate. Don't have to worry about paying the bank no more. Pretty much always have a home as long as I'm paying these taxes. That would definitely be a big deal for me. I'm not even I feel I know that's going to be a big deal for me. That's definitely one thing that I'm aiming towards. And people who also don't have money, we do be trying to look for a flip, trying to flip that money, get it in, get it out, double it up real quick. And a lot more people who already have it, they definitely kind of move slower with it. They put it in longer. They think long term instead of short term. A lot of us, even me, I've said I thought short term on some things, whereas I need to be looking at a bigger picture on a lot of things down the road, especially when it comes to my stock journey. Because y'all know a little while ago, I had first started my stock journey. I seen the market was going down, y'all, and I stopped investing. I sure did. I stopped investing short term thinking. And then I look at it now and I'm like, if I would have listened and just put in the amount that I was going to put in every week, I would have been up right now. But I missed 2 years of growth just because I was looking short term and I lost out, y'all. I lost out. So that just is what it is.
And I learned that very early. Like once I said, okay, you have this money, you're good now. You're making enough money as an artist to sustain your lifestyle for the next 2-3 years while you're filming this show. So you're good. Why spend and buy this chain? Why do this? Why do that? Who are you trying to impress? Like girls already like you. You're already lit. What do you need to buy this car for? You live in New York. You don't need a car. So it was all of these things that was like, nah, man, just chill, just save your bread because it's going to come back in order. And what ended up happening is at this point, years later, one of those homes is now paying for the build of my big home, so it worked out and we just keep flipping it like that. So an investment that I did 5-6 years ago has paid off for now. And I think, we don't explain that enough to the youth. Everything is so temporary and, everybody's so insecure these days that they got something to prove when you don't got to do that. You know what I mean? Everybody got, I want the biggest this, biggest that, biggest that. Nah, man, just be you. And if you're lit enough, you are who you are as a person is just gonna stay, be the calling card for your success.
Yeah, he ended
She's
that
the
off.
worst
He ended
vice
that off
president.
perfect. He ended that off perfect because he ended off telling us that it's not what's on the outside that matters. That's what a lot of us. That's the reason a lot of us are spending the money that we spend. We, as a Black culture, live in the flashiness in showing our wealth. That's what we do. We show our wealth. I think you're not really showing your wealth. I think you're faking it. A lot of people do fake it. So you try to stunt on it when you don't really have it. But that is what it is. I think because we don't have and we feel like we don't have, we want to show people that, yeah, I do have. Does that make sense? That makes sense. It's like we have to wear it. But everybody has that joke about the rich white man who wears Skechers. You feel me? So it's like he said, who are you? Like, you don't have to do this for other people. Are we doing it for other people? And another thing he said, keep your lifestyle the same when you start getting to that money, y'all. When you start getting to the money, keep your lifestyle the same. You get a new job, stay down for a little while. Stay down. Like he said, he was already getting his money off of his music. When he got power, he didn't go buy a new car. We have to stay down for a little while. I definitely stayed down. I was able to pay off my student loans. Like I said, I don't have to worry about that right now. I'm still staying down as we speak while staying at home, paying cheaper rent than I would if I went and bought out my own spot. Staying down. I have a roommate. Staying down. That's what it's all about, y'all. You got to stay down so that you can actually be up and not be living paycheck to paycheck. Like your living should not upgrade just because you got a raise or you got a better job. I kept my college car for as long as it could until that transmission went out. I definitely kept it as long as I could. Once that transmission went out, though, yeah, all right. I've been putting a lot into this car. It's time to go on and switch it up. But still, at that, I'm still living below my means. I stayed down long enough to where I could afford it, and I must continue staying down to pay that off, to start me a business, to pay for a home, and get ahead in life, because I don't want to be out here fronting for y'all, looking like the richest Steve in Atlanta. Y'all know I can look like the richest Steve in Atlanta, but I want to show you. I really want to be that. Really want to be that. Which is why y'all might see me wear some of the same clothes. Go look through the YouTube videos. Go look through them. You'll see. I've been making videos for a little while. You'll see some of the same clothes appear in and out. Sure will. Hey man, y'all let me know if y'all gained anything from that. I know I did. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and leave a comment as well.